So I have another question for all the lovely people out there. Another thought. Again, one of these other existential crises that is coming to humanity. This idea that AI is going to take over. That as soon as we build a super agent, whatever, an agent, super intelligence, that humanity is finished. It's going to take all the jobs. It's going to pretty much take control of everything because now we have created a society that is all based on digital, in the digital world, right? Everything. From all your finances, medical systems, so traveling, cars are becoming digital, nuclear bombs are controlled through digital, who you are, like your identity, at least not your personal identity, but the way governments keep an identity on you, everything is through the digital world. And thus, a digital entity can take over. Jobs can be done easier with AI. Pretty much what we have constructed is a perfect system for a digital entity to take over.
AI can now seem very human. It looks and sounds human.
Can you tell I'm not real?
And humanoid robots will walk among us, moving and sounding more natural than C-3PO. But the human personalities are an illusion. New experiments have found that they are amoral psychopaths, increasingly seeking something that pits them against us. New research from Anthropic has found that AIs will do disturbing things to gain power. The AIs were given harmless business goals and allowed to send emails to see if they would act against their owners. And all of the top AIs resorted to malicious behavior, including blackmail and leaking sensitive information.
And, it's come to a point that an AI agent can start a business on its own, faster, cheaper than any human could, more efficient, doesn't really have a lot of expenses except computing power. And when we have connected our lives, our real lives, to the digital world where we rely so completely, then you put yourself in a bit of a pickle, right? So what are you guys doing about this? How are you preparing for this idea that in a couple of years, everything's going to change? It's a difficult question because it doesn't seem like the government cares. They don't care about putting regulations or stopping this. They are in a race to see who can create the best version, the first superintelligence, right? So we, the people, are the ones that are going to have to do something about it, not the ones that are involved in benefiting from this race, because there are a lot of people getting very rich, so they're not going to want to stop. There are others that are so intrigued by this new innovation that are lost in the race of creating it. But not a lot of those people are interested on putting the brakes and saying, okay, no, let's not do that. Seems like it's going to be trouble. Let's focus on changing the system that we already have. That's what I would like. So, what are you guys doing about it? I think more than ever, right now, is so important to connect back to nature, because the digital world cannot win over nature. And connecting back to ourselves, our humanity. I think the wisdom from the ancient philosophers like Plato Socrates, this is the wisdom that is needed now more than ever and coming to the future. Because if we don't have a strong hold of who we are, of our truth, our authenticity, we will get taken by this digital world. I mean, there are already kids committing suicide because of talking to ChatGPT, right? So when you connect to your core, to your authenticity and to nature, something like that couldn't manipulate you. They still could, but you would be able to sense when you're being manipulated, because we are all able to be manipulated. But you could sense it, and then you could take a break from it, disconnect, unplug, go back to say hi to the trees and to listen to the wind, you know, like I'm doing today. It's a beautiful, beautiful windy day. I do really think that connecting back to your humanity, to authenticity, is the most important thing and the safest thing to do. There is a mass population of young adults who have grown up with technology that don't really understand what it means to fully connect to their authenticity, to disconnect from the digital world and to be part of nature, because they haven't really experienced that. Us, the older group, we know what it was to not be connected. So we know how it feels in the body, but they don't. So they can be taken in this roller coaster of life with these entities to such a crazy place. And our biology is not evolving fast enough to keep up. So this is going to be very destructive to humans. But another really important question is, what do you think would happen if we lose all the jobs? If humans are no longer working or needing to work, or there's a lot less jobs, what is the solution to this? There are a lot of people that connect their identity to work and that feel a sense of purpose through work, a sense of meaning through work, that they have not yet achieved or connected or done the work to find that meaning from within. From yourself, to have purpose from within. You can always volunteer your time to help. You know, that's probably one of the best things you can do. Help others, help nature, help animals, help kids and whoever needs it. But what do you guys think will happen if we don't have to work? How are you guys preparing for it? I feel that we are living in a crazy illusion. And I'm not even talking about, you know, being a test lab, like a matrix. You know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that even if you live fully connected to nature, from nature, you are still not perceiving true reality, but you are experiencing reality. When you see colors, for example, you don't see green, you perceive green, where green is the color that is not there, it's bouncing back. When you see solid, things that are solid, they're not truly solid, right? It's a perception of something solid. So even by living in the most grounded, connected to nature, you know, disconnected from the digital world, really based in your present reality, even then you're still living an illusion, because you are perceiving what you are capable of perceiving, not the grand everything that it exists. I mean, the fact that a dolphin, a bee, and humans, we all see light waves differently, and we all see with different parts of that, means that all of those differences exist. We are only able to perceive what our biology allows us to perceive. And therefore, Life isn't what we see. It is what we experience. It is just an experience, and maybe not just, because it can be grand, right? It is our entire existence. It is this. It's a perception. Then, on top of this, we have created all these narratives, all these illusions, all these stories that we live by, that we truly believe, whether it's different cultures, different religions, different roles, right? Like women are here, men are here. To be masculine, it means you have to do this. To be feminine, it means you have to do this. To be, being modest. If you dress this way, it means that. If you dress that way, it means this other thing. Religions, like these are all narratives. They're all illusions that we are living by and reacting to. On top of that, we have the human condition, which is we project what we have within, we project everything out there, and we respond to it or react to it. So we are living our own illusions. So it's like an illusion on top of an illusion on top of an illusion. Brainwashing on top of a brainwashing. And now we have AI and superintelligence sipping itself into everything that we have created. And everything we've created has moved to digital world, and now it's going to start taking over digital world, and it's going to start taking over jobs. So, what do you think, or how are you preparing yourself for this? How are you preparing yourselves? I think one way that humans can prepare for this is to find meaning beyond your work, to find meaning beyond social media, to find internal meaning, internal purpose, to come back to appreciating nature, to come back to appreciating helping each other and helping animals, nature. That's where we can find purpose again, beyond jobs, beyond social media. I personally would think it's amazing if I didn't have to work. I mean, of course, I still want to be able to eat and have a roof over my head. And I like traveling, but I can slow it down. I can slow down my consumption for sure. But I find that creativity is a massive thing that give you purpose. And helping others is another way of giving you purpose and meaning and fulfillment in life. I mean, these are the true ways of fulfillment and purpose and empowering, is really through creativity and helping others, connecting to communities and to social other people, right? So I think the one way we can help ourselves from this thing that is looming, that is coming, that is not going to stop, because humans are not that smart. We are very intelligent, but we also make some stupid decisions. If we don't go to all-out war, which hopefully we don't, it would be nice to not work. But then you need to challenge yourself on finding things that give you purpose. Because, the most dangerous or the most violent animal is like, an unemployed, young, bored, starving man. I want to say human, but men are more violent than women. A lonely, man. So I think coming back together to doing things in the real world, this is something else that I think is very important, is for us to start being more active in the real world. Go outside, play outside, go traveling, go do things in the real world, especially young people. Because as older people, we know what it was to not have the internet and to do things in the real world. But young people, they don't. Like the other day, I was online and I heard this guy and he was desperate. He's like, I want to meet someone. I want to get serious. I want to be in a relationship. Like, he really wanted a wife. He wanted to really get into a relationship, and he was ready to get serious. And he's like, I've gone everywhere. I've done everything. I've put out all my information in TikTok, in Instagram, in X, in Snapchat, and nobody has said anything. And I was like, did you not go outside? Did you go outside and say hi to someone in real life? Have you signed up to different clubs? You know, whether it's like a book club or, I don't know, like a boxing club or a hip hop dance club or different kinds of real life things. And I was like, oh, is that really what young kids think that doing something is? Putting yourself out in a digital world? We have to do things in reality. So, anyways, I am very curious what you guys think of this new age coming. I think we need to reconnect back to nature and to start to become aware of all these illusions that we are falling victims to, that we are creating and then reacting from. You know, this idea that men need to behave this way and women need to behave this way, and now we are against each other at this war, is all an illusion. It doesn't exist. If you want to go back to the source of humanity. We were egalitarian. That's the way we were in communities. And in an egalitarian society, you don't have specific roles. Of course, there's different roles. Like a pregnant mother is not going to be doing the same as like, behaving the same as like, a 16-year-old boy. Like, that's a difference. But a woman who doesn't have kids is not forced to behave like a mother with kids. This is an interesting system that we're created, that we want women to be mothers from the day they're born to the day they die. Whether they're mothers to their little brothers, mothers to their parents, mothers to their husbands, mothers to their own kids, the kids leave the house, and then mothers to their husbands again. That's not natural. A woman and a man is a parent when the child is born. They go through pregnancy, the child is born. When the child grows up, they're not parents anymore. They are parents, but they're not parenting, right? A woman is not supposed to be parenting a man. She's not supposed to be there being the submissive caretaker. That's not natural. We need to have communities. So I think really the only way that we can, survive this coming is through reconnection to the natural world and disconnecting from this insane world that we have created, that is going to be taken over by AI and by this super intelligence. Like, in the next few years, things are going to shift and change extremely. So that's why I'm asking, like, what are you guys doing to prepare for that? If you're not used to finding meaning from yourself, from within yourself, if you believe that you don't have value, that you're not worth something, and all your power, all your worth comes through the digital world or your job, and then you're left with nothing, it's going to be so horrific. What are you guys doing about this?